Toga Himiko ex-reader. Why? Don't leave me. God, how do I get myself in these situations? Currently, I was sitting alone in an empty room that was covered head to toe in spiderwebs and dirt. Lovely place. How did I get myself into this situation? Rather boring story, so I'll just skip it. Point being, I'm in the League of Villains headquarters, just waiting to be turned into a Nomu. Kinda disturbing in all honesty. At least I'll be dead first. Let's hope Madman with fire hands isn't the one to kill me. I heard being burned alive is one of the worst ways to go. YN, a low raspy voice, said. I looked up and was met with fire hands himself. Let's go, I gulp, walking in fear, but slowly rose to follow him. After a few minutes of walking, a girl probably not much older than my 16 years joined us. Darby, who is she? She's cute, she'd be even cuter if she bled though. The girl held a knife dangerously close to my neck and smiled. Toga, hands off, the boss wants her alive, Darby growled. Toga huffed in defeat and lowered her knife. Fine. Promise me I'll get to see her blood though. Depends on how she dies. Just cut my arm or something, not enough to make me faint. But if you want to see my blood so badly, I'm going to die anyways. I looked over at Toga, and she was tearing up. No one ever just lets me cut them. I love you, YN. She slid her knife over my arm and watched as blood oozed out. After a few minutes of admiring my blood, I decided to speak up. Are you good now? Oh, YN, I'm better than good. I'm fantastic. She gave me a huge hug, then started bandaging my arm once she got the blood she wanted. I look at Darby as Toga bandaged me up. Just how big is this building? Seems like we've been walking for over 15 minutes. We're almost there, and that's all you need to know, he hissed back. I sighed in defeat, knowing I'm not going to be able to make any sort of conversation with him. So Toga, the girl's eyes met mine in anticipation for me to keep going as she finished patching up my arm. What made you join the League of Villains? Besides your blood thing, you actually seem pretty normal. It was Mr. Staney, of course. His beliefs aren't much different from mine. She got dark all of a sudden and continued. I just want a society where I can be myself, where I can become who I love. This was the only time she didn't sound so excited. Who was this girl? Toga took out the blood she got from me and chugged it like it was a sacred beverage. We were about 3 minutes from my death. I was studying the dilapidated building we were in, as this would be the last thing I see. I glanced back over at Toga, but she looked exactly like me. It didn't help that we did have our resemblances, like blonde hair for starters. For the sake of the story, you got blonde hair. I'm sorry to all my fellow brunettes and all of you with black hair. Okay, good to know. To Toga, she quickly took off her clothes that were underneath mine and handed them to me. Put this on, YN. I did what she said in the allotted time. Toga put my hair up in the bun she usually wears, gave me some fake fangs. This is for letting me take your blood and being so nice. I can't believe you let me become you willingly. Darby cuffed Toga instead of me and nodded. Once we got to the desired location, I was face to face with Shigaraki, the head of the League of Villains, except right now I was Toga. I couldn't show fear, or it would be both our lives that would lose. I scanned the room and noticed Kurigiri cleaning a wine glass, twice and Spinner sitting on bar stools, and of course Shigaraki, who was sitting in the middle of the room on a wood chair that looked to be falling apart. So YN, Shigaraki spoke and looked directly at Toga. Any last words? Getting right to the point, huh, Shigaraki? It's actually frightening how much Toga sounded and acted like me. Well, it's not like I have all day, he responded and scratched his neck. No, a stick maybe? Fair, well, here I am, do what you will. Toga stepped forward and Shigaraki grabbed her handcuffs. He looked expectantly at Kurigiri, I imagine waiting for him to open a warp gate. Twice, Spinner, are you coming or not? I do love watching people get turned into Nomus. Not. Twice walked over to Shigaraki. Can't Toga come too? I miss her too much. No, I won't. I lose my breath and look at the real Toga. She just nodded and smiled, mouthing a simple I love you. Not this time, Twice. She has patrol with Darby. Kurogiri nodded to the bipolar man. Oh man, alright, bye Toga. Hello. After that, all went into Kurogiri's warp gate and left me and Darby alone. Why did she do that for me? I'll start crying a little as I said this. Why did she do that for me? I just went along with it. Weirdly, Darby comforted me by patting my shoulder. But we should head out. Toga wanted you to be safe, so let's get you home. Oh, okay, I hiccuped. I really did love her though. She made a good hero. She already was one. With these simple words, we left the League of Villains hideout and headed for my home. About a block away, Darby stopped in an alley. He couldn't follow me from here. My house, after all, was right next to UA High. We shook each other's hands and went our separate ways, never to be seen by each other again. That was the end of that. That was really, really, really sad. Oh, I'm gonna cry. That was so sad. That was really good though. I really, really enjoyed that. So yeah. That's all from me. Bye.